British-born director Sing J. Lee's feature-length directorial debut is based on a true kidnapping that occurred in Southern California in 2016, but to call The Accidental Getaway Driver a biopic or a treatise on crime in America is to misunderstand Lee's moving and philosophical drama, which uses the outline of that event to convey something much more personal and quiet. The film is indeed set in Southern California, with sojourns to a remembered Vietnam and a dreamt-about former life. Time-wise, it's contemporary, but time plays more than a structural role in this film. Clocks wind down, a hazard light tick-tocks on and off, thieves and an old man sit in a motel whiling away the hours by tossing sunflower seeds at a cup, and someone begs a friend to listen to this old man. There is too much time in The Accidental Getaway Driver and there is too little. There's time that will drive you mad as it crawls along and time that will pass by you so quickly, you'll look up at the mirror in your car and realize just how much you missed. Heap Tran Nia magnificently conveys how everyone's time comes. Long Ma has brief moments of courage. Vietnamese actor Heap Tran Nia, who only started acting at the age of 50, stars as Long Ma, a driver who accepts a late-night offer to ferry three gentlemen to an unknown location. Despite his reservations, the offer of doubled pay is enough for him to let the young Eddie Lai, Phi Vu, the intense Aiden Salhi, Dali Bensala, and the charming Tay Duoing, Dustin Nguyen, into his beat-down car and onto his bead-covered seats. It doesn't take long for Long to realize something is amiss, but by then, he's been kidnapped by the three escaped convicts. This is no adventure, however, and the few moments of action are brutal but quick. These are fights between men who aren't looking to kill one another, only to convince. You see, Aiden does want to kill Long. He knows too much, but Tay has begun to grow fond of the old man. The consequences of grabbing shotgun, I suppose. Even with the threat of death hanging over Long, Lee keeps a steady foot on the gas. There's not much yelling, and when a gun is pulled, it's apologized for by the wielder, as if they're embarrassed to even have it. It's the waiting that's agonizing. Time slows down after Long is captured, and he spends his endless day driving his captors, waiting in ugly motel rooms, dreaming of some old life that we get snippets of as the film goes on. Nia is devastating in his role, his large glasses giving his eyes the roundness and size of a Pixar character, and the way his chin quivers as he's pushed around from car to room to car again made my heart ache. This internal sadness, brought on by much more than the circumstances he finds himself in, we slowly find out, occasionally gives way to incredible moments of courage and kindness from Long, making them all the more powerful. He can't be strong often, but when he rolls down a window for Tay, who lights up a cigarette in his backseat, it's not just funny, it's triumphant. Long and Tay's relationship is a moving look at male relationships. Language presents a tricky barrier for everyone in The Accidental Getaway Driver. Long Ma, Heap Tran Nia, leaning on a fence as Tay Duoing smokes a cigarette in The Accidental Getaway Driver. Tay and Long have a connection that grows organically throughout the film. Though they say they are only talking to pass the time on the never-ending road, both reveal more about themselves than they perhaps intended. Each man has made mistakes that have cost him his family connections, but they both don't realize what they've lost until they see it in the other. Long only speaks Vietnamese, Tay English and Vietnamese, Eddie English and bad Vietnamese, and Aiden only English. Communication takes 3 times as long as it should, and, as the leader, Aiden has to tell Tay to translate to Long, with Tay often softening Aiden's anxious, demanding words. When Aiden talks to Long directly, Lee pulls a cool trick by muffling the sound of what should be key bits of information, making us as lost as Long characters talk to pass the time. They share bits and pieces about themselves, sometimes off-screen, so we learn a fact after the characters. Aiden apologetically promises to kill Long knowing the older man can't understand him, but Long knows the score. Language can offer knowledge, but it can also impart things we'd rather not hear. In a wonderful moment during a tedious wait in a motel room, Eddie, Long, and Tay work together to see if they can flick a sunflower seed into a cup, one after another. Despite their language barriers, the trio work together, holding their breath after a teammate sinks a shot. I won't spoil the result, but The Accidental Getaway Driver's ability to show connection across generations and languages has rarely been so expertly staged.